73% of Americans have less than $500 saved for an emergency. Not 5,000, 500. That means for most people watching this right now, if your car breaks down tomorrow, if you lose your job next month, or if you get hit with a surprise medical bill, you'd have to put it on a credit card. And that's exactly how debt spirals start. By the end of this video, you're going to know exactly how much you actually need in your emergency fund, where to keep that money so it's not losing value, and the number one mistake that wipes people's savings out completely. Stick around till the end, because that last one is the one nobody talks about. Section 1. Why most emergency funds fail. Here's the problem. Everyone's heard the advice: save 3 to 6 months of expenses. But almost nobody tells you what that actually means in practice. And that vague advice is exactly why most emergency funds never get built. There are two ways an emergency fund usually fails. Number 1, it never gets built in the first place, because 3 to 6 months of expenses sounds like an impossible mountain to climb, so people just don't start. Number 2, the money exists, but it's in the wrong place. Either it's sitting in a regular checking account earning basically nothing, so inflation quietly eats away at it every year. Or worse, it's tied up in investments or a CD, and when the emergency actually hits, the money isn't accessible without a penalty or a loss. An emergency fund that you can't access in 48 hours isn't really an emergency fund. It's just money that happens to exist somewhere. Section 2. How much you actually need. Forget the vague 3 to 6 months rule for a second. Here's a simpler way to think about it. 3 tiers, based on where you are right now. Tier 1. The starter fund, $1,000. If you have zero savings right now, this is your first target. Not 6 months of expenses, just $1,000. This covers most small emergencies: a car repair, a broken appliance, an unexpected bill, without touching a credit card. Tier 2. The stable fund, 3 months of expenses. Once you hit that first $1,000, the next target is 3 months of essential expenses. That means rent or mortgage, groceries, utilities, insurance, minimum debt payments. Not your whole lifestyle, just what it costs to keep the lights on. Tier 3. The secure fund, 6 months of expenses. This is the target if you're in a less stable situation. Commission-based income, self-employed, a single-income household, or you're within 10 years of retirement. 6 months gives you a real cushion if something bigger happens, like a job loss or a health issue. The key question to ask yourself: how quickly could you replace your income if it disappeared tomorrow? The slower that answer, the closer you need to be to that 6-month number. Section 3. Where to actually keep the money. This is the part almost everyone gets wrong. Mistake. Keeping it in a regular checking account. Most checking accounts pay close to zero interest. Meanwhile, inflation is quietly reducing what that money can actually buy every single year. Your emergency fund needs to at least keep pace with inflation, or you're losing money by saving it. Better option: a high-yield savings account. These are federally insured, just like a regular bank account, so your money is just as safe. But they pay significantly more interest. In 2026, some of the better high-yield savings accounts are paying rates many times higher than the national average for a standard savings account. That's free money you're currently leaving on the table if your emergency fund is sitting in an old-fashioned savings account. What to avoid? CDs and investments for this specific money. A CD locks your money up for a fixed term. Pull it out early, and you'll usually eat a penalty. And investing your emergency fund in the stock market means if the market drops right when you need that money, you're forced to sell at a loss. This fund is not for growth, it's for access. The rule of thumb: your emergency fund should be boring, liquid, and safe. Growth is what the rest of your money is for. Section 4. The mistake that wipes people out. Here's the one nobody talks about, and it disproportionately hits people closer to retirement. It's treating the emergency fund as a someday fund instead of an only for emergencies fund. People build it up, and then a vacation comes along, or a big purchase, or a good deal, and the fund quietly gets drained for something that wasn't actually an emergency. Then the real emergency hits, 6 months later, and the fund isn't there anymore. The fix is simple, but people rarely do it. Keep your emergency fund in a completely separate account from your regular spending money. Not just a different bucket in the same account, an entirely separate account, ideally at a different bank. So it's not sitting right next to your checking account tempting you every time you check your balance. And if you're within a few years of retirement, there's an even bigger version of this mistake. One specific move a lot of retirees make with where they park this money that can quietly cost them thousands. That's actually the entire topic of next week's video, so make sure you're subscribed for that one. Let's quickly recap. 1. Start with $1,000, then build toward 3 to 6 months of essential expenses depending on how stable your income is. 2. Keep it in a high-yield savings account. Not checking, not a CD, not investments. 3. Keep it separate from your everyday spending account so you're not tempted to dip into it. That's it. That's the whole system. It's not complicated. It just needs to actually get done. If this helped you, hit like. It genuinely helps this channel reach more people who need to hear this. And if you want to know the specific emergency fund mistake that's costing retirees thousands of dollars, that's next week's video. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.